Hello there and welcome to Let's Review Streamlined. This is a game that's an asymmetrical run-collect platformer essentially, but you'll see that when I get to playing it. It's from Twitch at the moment. We're giving it away with Twitch Prime, so if you buy Twitch Prime you get this game for free. I don't know if there's other ways of getting it. I did have problems launching it. The first few times I launched it, it wouldn't log into Twitch, but it's now running much more stably, and that seems a lot better. What menu options have we got for a start? Let's start having a look at those. Video options are extremely limited. Graphic options basically is just a quality setting and a resolution and a display mode, so you're not going to get much more than that. A gamma correction I suppose would be helpful, but most people set that on the monitor. It's extremely limited. Audio options, basically just the volume for everything and whether or not the sound should continue playing in the background when the window's not selected. Personally, I don't think I want that, but there we go. Gameplay options, well really in this case they're keyboard and mouse, which they have rewindable keys, which is absolutely noble but not unexpected, and controller options are completely static. Essentially it's an XM input device, so either your adapted DualShock 4 or any Xbox controller just plugs straight in, and that's your lot really. You don't get a lot more control than that. You do get to select your region, however if you select other than one of the two US regions you're not going to find a game, and even with the US regions, because this is a beta, you are going to have difficulty finding a game of more than 4 people. Right, so this game doesn't actually have a tutorial anywhere in it, so I've had to play it a bit to give some idea of what it is that it's doing, and it is a bit of an odd one. There's no, like I said, there's no tutorial. Let's have a look at the character customizations. That was the first thing I did when I got into the game myself. So settings, no, inventory, that's it, character. You can change things about, say, your head, your skin colour, your sex even, but as I understand it, a lot of the clothing customization options are... let's have a look at the clothing options, shall we? Stuff like torso, here we go. A lot of these are locked behind a paywall if you're not in with the Twitch. If you didn't get in via Twitch Prime, you won't be getting a lot of these customization options. So I mean, there are so few of them as there are. I can't imagine that someone buying this game would feel like there are enough customization options. This is a beta, and so there is a good chance that they will add a lot more stock options to the stock game, but as it is, I would say there probably aren't enough customization options. Controls I didn't even really look at when I started the game, but if you want to look, these are the ones that I will be using. There's attack and run faster, dodge left and right, and then the main one you need other than that is jump, and that's pretty much it. Move the character around and move the camera around. If you used any platformer at all before, that's the kind of controls we'll be using here. So it's probably best if I get started by showing you the game. Let's go for a quick match, assuming we can find one. The matches all start with a quick ability to explore the arena, which is nice. So run around, get a feel for it. You're going to be collecting things, assuming you're not the asymmetric single person set to kill everybody else. If you are, then you don't have to worry about collecting things, you just have to hit them with your stop sign. Otherwise you have to try and navigate this arena as quick as possible, not getting hit and collecting as much as possible, which is an interesting way to make a game. It's an interesting concept. I'm not sure how good at this point it really is pulled off though. I mean, personally I would still stick to something like Team Fortress 2 or something, but that's just my preference, right? As you can see, here are all the collectibles. I'm not the asynchronous single person out to kill everybody, so it's my job to try and survive as long as possible. problems I have noticed, when you do die, you are usually not doing a lot for a long time. You can still sometimes hit other players, but you can't collect anything, so it does feel a bit pointless to continue. So I am actually surprised that the game isn't played with disconnect more often than it is. And it also does seem to be that
the floor is lava.
You can get away with not being terribly good so long as you're erratic, because that makes it incredibly hard for the person chasing to actually get anywhere close. So this is the main conceit of the game. Run around, collect these little orbs, and try not to get hit, unless you are the person chasing everybody, hitting everyone else. And that's killed me. Well, that's the end of my round 1, and now I have to wait another minute 45 before I'm allowed to actually do very much. Again, this is a beta. That was a bit of a bug to
activated.
Ooh, that's interesting. So that was a modifier that was added to the game that has now caused everybody to come back to life and suddenly die again. As you can see, it's a bit erratic. It's not very well balanced, which is understandable, as it does say beta on the tin. But we've had some betas before that have been significantly better balanced than this has. Is it fun? It's not too bad, but I've got to say it's not going to pull me too far away from something like Team Fortress 2. I really do enjoy the sort of more structured games, whereas this asynchronous lot isn't doing a lot for me. And it would appear that enough people probably quit the round in order to mean that we've had to go back to the lobby again. As you can see, that I don't know how long this game is going to last unless Twitch streamers really get behind it and push it for all it's worth. Oh, he's not even actually at keyboard, it would seem. Not that I'm using one, I'm using a controller, but you know what I mean. I do worry about the amount of DLC this game has already got. If I've got 24 bits of DLC, and according to the free Amazon Prime notice, and I don't feel like I have enough character customization options already, I can only imagine that the amount of DLC in the long run is going to be fairly terrifying. But that said, I can't predict that far in the future. We'll see what happens. Keep an eye out. Graphics? Well, when the game actually starts and it doesn't have these silly scan lines all across it, it's actually rather pretty. It's well drawn. Parts of it do appear to be sort of not much better quality than the Unity store could provide you with, but it does have a continuous style and aesthetic that at least pulls it together. It does feel like it was all developed by one studio who had some idea what they were doing. Fit, I would say the graphics do fit what they're trying to achieve with it. They are going for a cartoony style and a cartoony type of gameplay, so it makes sense. But as you can see from how long I've been waiting for a game, this is not an easy game to get a match for. Music and sound effects, well, it's good, but it's not particularly noticeable, and that song you can probably hear in the background is on repeat constantly. I don't know if they plan to have more music, but I do think that within a few matches it could drive me quite crazy. Yeah, just that on loop over and over for the rest of the time is probably my hell. Sound effects work well enough. They tell you where people are and what they're doing, so jump has a double jump, swoosh. Jumping off objects has a nice little sound effect to tell you that's what's happening, so you can track enemies not just visually but also audibly, which is handy. It's just not going to be... all of this is for naught if they can't get enough people into the game. Currently we're just standing here doing nothing, waiting for a game to fill up, and we've been doing that most of the time. Let's quit back to menu and summarise this, shall we? Exit game. Now sometimes we have a bug where I get attached with other players in a party for no known reason. Currently I'm not, but that is a bit of a pain. Finally, would I recommend this game? No. It's free, and I probably still wouldn't recommend you get Prime just for this game. If you've got Prime anyway, then maybe install it, give it a shot, you might enjoy it, you might actually be able to get a game better than the sort of 30 or 40 seconds as you saw me have just then, but that has been my experience of the game so far, and I've had numerous attempts to actually get further into the game, so I wouldn't recommend it, but if you've got it for free anyway, you might as well give it a go. Thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, you can leave a like below or a comment. Let me know what you think I should do next time. And thanks very much for watching.